The game director of Overwatch 2, Aaron Keller, has released an article today giving his candid thoughts on how 2023 went and a big view of the future for 2024. There's a lot of things coming to the game that I'm going to read to you right now, so sit back and listen up. Hello everybody, and happy 2024. We're at the start of a new year, and I thought it would be a great idea to talk about our view of 2024. This director's take will be one part of a series where we frame up the year according to a set of values we're using to develop the game. These values translate into goals and specific additions and changes to the game. There's a lot of different things coming up to the year that I want to share, so think of this as the first in a series of topics to cover. One of the biggest values of the team is to improve Overwatch's individual and team-focused gameplay to meet the needs of our core audience. When I look at the future of Overwatch a year or two out, I don't see the exact same game that we're playing now, but with a few more heroes and maps added to it. The game should always evolve with new systems and features that serve our players. Some of these features could live just outside of a match, such as a map voting system. Okay, Aaron, we cooking here? Some of these could be larger systems that define the way players interact with the game, such as our competitive system. I mean, this was already announced, right? This was announced back in November of 2023 at BlizzCon. New competitive system is coming this February in about a month. And some of these changes could be within a match itself, such as modifications to the moment-to-moment gameplay. This last part is what I'd like to talk about today. Additional director's takes blogs will look at other parts of the game that I mentioned, such as our competitive system, hero balance, and economy. I'd also like to take some time to talk about future events and limited time game modes, as well as larger systems that have the possibility of coming to the game. Let's get into Overwatch gameplay. Starting with the obvious, Overwatch is a team-based hero multiplayer competitive shooter. Heroes, maps, and game modes are all designed and require teams to work together in order to successfully win a match. When a team works together, each player uses their heroes to their fullest potential while relying on each other to execute a strategy. The game feels magical. There's really no FPS like it. It's true. Honestly, there's no other game that scratches the itch that Overwatch does. I mean, we look at the Steam player count. It's been very, very consistent over the past, 4 or 5 months that it's been out. No huge deviations. It's a good and a bad thing, right? When a new season drops, you'd hope for a big spike and then a gradual dip throughout the season. But I think with the graph, with the new season, it's a very minor bump, but at least nothing really dips throughout the whole season. It's very, very consistent. And that's only Steam, not even accounting for the majority of players on console and on people who haven't switched to Steam, such as Battle.net, which is myself. The player base is really healthy for a 7.5-year live service game. No matter what people say Overwatch is dead, that's probably because the person who's been playing for years decided to leave, but there's always new players entering the game, believe it or not. So there's really no FPS like it. However, when this isn't happening and players are all working on their own, the game is far from magical and can become frustrating. The reliance on teammates can simultaneously be one of the best and worst attributes of our game. We want to improve this, and we want to do this by looking at the game through the lens of teamwork and make it easier for players to be part of the team, while also lessening some of the pain when it's not happening. In fact, a lot of our goals for improving the core game stems from looking at Overwatch as a whole, improving parts of the game that are working and finding fixes for the parts that are negatively affecting the experience. We've already implemented some features to align with this, for example, the ping system and the newer spawn together system both encourage team play. For those who don't know, the spawn together system, this was added at the beginning of season 7. I think it was last November. But the spawn together system, this is for quick play only, adjusts individual players' respawn time so they all respawn with teammates together more often. The system will get a tuning pass in season 9 to make the effect more prominent. Okay, Aaron's gonna stop it there, but let me explain it for those who don't know in a very simple term. People don't even realize this because not everybody listens to me reading these blog articles or read these blog articles or all the patch notes. But when you die in quick play, you have a 10-second respawn time. If another teammate dies and the first teammate's 10, 9, 8, and this next person dies, they'll be at 10 seconds normally, but instead it averages out to anybody who has over 5 seconds left in their spawn. So the person who was 10, 9, 8, your next person dies, they actually both get shifted to 9 because that's the average, right? 10 and 8, it's 18 divided by 2, it's 9, 2 players. So they both get 9 seconds. So effectively, the person who died later has a shorter respawn, while the person who died earlier has a bit of a longer one, so they can all die together. If it ends up being 5 people, where there's like a bunch of people dying and they're all over the 5-second mark, they'll all get squished to probably like whatever, 7 seconds, and they all come out together. Okay, this system will get a tuning, but now we're actually talking about other features that will make it easier for players to work together as a team. Party frames is one of these. These are the on-screen player health indicators that we use for our PvE events. That's a big piece of nugget. So basically, we can cut to it right now, to a PvE clip right now. On the bottom left, you can see all of your teammates' HP bars, right? That's what they're going to be adding to the game. Yes, great quality of life change. Thank you, Aaron and Overwatch team. Other possible features such as backfill improvements, changes to our scoreboard, and ways to mitigate spawn camping also align with this. To show the extent of our discussions, even an ally-only minimap feature was discussed. Some of these systems are under discussion and under development. I don't think the minimap has a high likelihood of shipping, but I do think party frames are likely. They're just letting us know that they've been iterating many ideas, and the one that seems to be pretty firm. If they say likely, that it's coming. The party, it's not very hard to implement. They already have a system built for PvE to have your HP bar shown on the bottom left. So just stick it in there. Good. It's our hope that staying together, staying closer to your teammates and having more information on what they're doing will help encourage team play. But what happens when your team is not working well together? We definitely want to make this seem a little less frustrating. We've talked about the new competitive system coming to Season 9, but there's a massive set of gameplay and balance changes coming to that season as well. Many of those changes are aimed at reducing damage spikes in combat. I won't get into all of these. We're working on a standalone post to be published closer to the start of that season. But for the sake of the current discussion, I'll talk about one aspect of it. So coming up in Season 9, around February, early February 2024, both damage and tank heroes will get a modified, tuned down version of the support self-healing passive. That is a big change for Season 9. Wow. This should give non-support players more options in terms of sustaining themselves. It should also take some of the pressure off support players to keep everyone alive, since individual players now have more control of their own health pool. In Overwatch, there is a constant tug of war between the power of a team and the power of an individual hero or player. A change like this shifts that balance a bit. This is something that we are constantly evaluating. We still want Overwatch to be defined by team strategy and mechanics, but we feel like this can be pulled back a bit now and possibly more in the future. We're also actively looking for new ways of improving the core gameplay experience. So literally when you read this blog Friday, or listen to this blog reaction, Friday, January 2024, Saturday the 13th, Sunday the 14th, they're launching Quick Play Hacked event where they modify all the rules in the Quick Play role queue queues. This first iteration is called Quicker Play, and it changes many of the Quick Play mode's rules to make matches quicker. Payloads and capture times are faster, respawn times are quicker, and matches are shorter. Things like Flashpoint is already fast. It's going to go like even faster. This particular experiment is designed to look at how these changes affect player psychology. For instance, if a player spends less time waiting to respawn, will getting eliminated by an opponent be less frustrating? If matches are shorter, will each loss have the same sting that it currently does? These are also out of game benefits that could come from this event, such as quicker matchmaking and quicker challenge completion. Based on the reception to these changes, the team might use the feedback towards improving the game, and that's what these Quick Play Hacked events are designed to do. Quicken the feedback loop and allow for swifter implementation of improvements to the game. In fact, we have one more coming later in Season 8. You can learn more about the Quick Play Hacked here. I read this article yesterday on this channel. We can link that as well. And that's it for this week. We'll be back for a few more to talk about additional ways we're improving. We're looking at improving Overwatch over the course of 2024. Thanks for reading and watching. I love how they wrote watching, because they know all of us creators just read this to people. We're basically marketing mediums for Blizzard, or Microsoft now, excuse me. And we'll see you in game. So TLDR, party frame, which is the on-screen HP bars for everybody on the bottom left, probably. A support passive like light, Temu support passive, Wish.com support passive for tanks and DPS, and an improved spawn together system for quick play only. That's a TLDR of this article. Good tease onto what's coming. I hope you guys are excited for the direction the game is going. Thank you for the candid response, Aaron, and let me know what you guys think in the comments.